everybody, and welcome back to more BTS America's action here. We're going to be hopping into just one best of 3 for you today. Should be a doozy. It's going to be Digital Chaos going against Balrogs Esport. They managed to get their 10th, or not their 10th player, but the 10th player managed to make it in the last minute to spare. So obviously they have little to zero reserve time. Digital Chaos, the good boys, all there, 5-man ready to go right at the start. So let's get a game underway. KotLGuy going to bring you the English coverage here, and I'm going to be joined remotely by the one and only, my good buddy here, Mr. Alan RyuUboruZ Anderson. Ryu, how's it going, my buddy? Hopefully you're going to be coming in loud and clear. How you doing?
Am I? I might be a little soft.
You might be a little soft there, a tiny bit soft. I'm not sure if that's on my end, but I'm more than happy to bump you up. Here we go.
I'm bumping it up a bit there.
There we go, I got you. How's it going, my friend? Are you hyped up? And what are your early impressions about Digital Chaos going against Balrogs here?
Well, before, they had resolution, I would say the odds were 70-30, 75. But I feel like now it's like 95% resolution's been playing like a madman with this team so far. Balrogs, obviously you haven't seen this team too much. I know Ben Jazz and Jericho. Ben Jazz obviously standout carry player in the SA scene, Jericho playing the support, but as for the others, I'm looking to see how well they're going to match up against Digital Chaos. And when you give away an Earth Spirit first, I'm already worrying.
Now, it is to note, of course, that mini little micro balance patch did just come out. For those of you who don't know, there was a small nerf applied to both Lone Druid and Earth Spirit. People might interpret it as a large nerf or a small nerf. For me personally, and Ryu, and for other people, they know, I like Earth Spirit a lot. I admit it. I'm disgusting like that. But I feel like the nerf wasn't too dramatic. I had looked up the stats to verify. It's like 35% of the time an Earth Spirit will even be able to get an Ags or even gets one. This does not change his early game or his mid game potential at all, and that's really where his initial peaking point is, with that first rolling boulder, maybe setting up that first gank, that first blood, harassing the mid laner. Even when he gets his magnetized and he's making that second peak with his huge ultimate, those are still unaffected by the nerf, and his potential's still there, so he is still going to be a top pick. I don't know if you would agree with this or not, and then I don't know Lone Druid also. I would love your opinion on Lone Druid.
Earth Spirit is, yes, 100% what you said. It's like changing the ultimate to Chen. It does not nerf the hero that much. Maybe a little bit, like 10% or 20%. And like you said, most Earth Spirits won't even get Ags. It just, when you have the pull into the kickback into the fountain or the tier 4s, that becomes very OP. So in this situation, Earth Spirit has to kind of like roll in or get a blink dagger to get really on top of you and then make that play, which is putting him into harm's way more. So I really like the nerf. As for the Savage Roar, I think it helps out a little bit when you're in these long drawn out team fights. Early game, it'll help out a lot because he does rely on it to stay alive, and then it just reduces the cooldown here. So you can say you have a hero that can, like a Vengeful, and you can just stun once again and 10 more seconds on the cooldown, and then you can kill him because the Savage War is just a little bit more nerfed on the cooldown.
We will not be seeing Lone Druid here. It is going to be first ban, so these heroes are still going to be a hot commodity here this meta, and probably even moving forward into Shanghai. But let's break down the actual draft before us here. Balrogs, who get the second pick, they're going to be opening with their Witch Doctor Outworld Devourer grab. This comes after the Earth Spirit. Digital Chaos respond by grabbing up an early Beastmaster here, something we don't get to see a whole lot of, and something that's going to be fun in particular for Digital Chaos. We know Bulba plays it a lot in the off lane, but if I'm not mistaken, Resolution has also shown in the past that he could sport it in the mid lane. So they do have that kind of flexibility. From there, though, they grab the Lina, and then Balrogs, they end up responding a Gyrocopter Darkseer combo here. Lots of team fight potential from the side of Balrogs here already coming out, Ryu. So what are you making of the second phase so far? Now with the Pugna coming out, things are getting really fun. I like DC's lineup. It's interesting.
Yes, I'm very curious to see where you're going to be putting the Pugna, the Lina, because in these situations, Lina is one of the best heroes to go against the OD mid. You outrange him heavily. You can burst him down with a lot of nuking power, and you can just easily win the 1v1 matchup. It's kind of like going against the Viper there, as well as against the Razor, and they'll have the upper hand. So now that you have the Pugna online, it definitely counteracts Darkseer and OD, what they're trying to do. You're going to have to get either fast BKBs or try and target down the Pugna ward. But if you're gonna do that, then you have the Beastmaster Roar coming on top of you, and then Earth Spirit can, get a 2-3 man kick or silence, and then it just ruins your whole team fight. So Digital Chaos gonna be putting out a lot of pressure here, and yeah, most likely Beastmaster in the off lane here, Earth Spirit roaming around. The biggest thing for me is just where is the Lina and the Pugna? Is it gonna be a Pugna? I don't really like Pugna support because it doesn't zone out the Darkseer really well. It depends on their last pick.
10 seconds remaining.
And then they might just go
5 seconds
all in
remaining.
aggression. No, it has to be a Lina support with another stunner. That's why I really like the Savin ban.
Oracle's still out
Reserve
there.
time.
I'm surprised a team like DC hasn't picked it up yet. I know Theben in particular loves the hero. He was picking it up all the time right when the patch rolled out. And against the Darkseer, yeah, it is amazing. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Earth Spirit Oracle duo. Maybe throw Lina towards the mid lane, Beastmaster off, and then yeah, you kind of have a safe lane Pugna. But the problem is you don't have hefty push. I mean, Oracle isn't one to push very hard, and if you're committing with a Pugna, you kind of have to have the draft around it. I don't know. Every Pugna draft I see is more emphasis on utilizing his blast and pushing power, unless DC are just utilizing him for other reasons, just the ward, let's say. I'm not too sure, so it is a bit peculiar there. There could be other options that could help a bit and provide the push, unlike an Oracle, but it's so tempting when you have a Darkseer on the other side and you can pretty much remove his whole early laning phase. But now they see the Bounty Hunter come out, that could change things up a bit for DC.
Oh yeah, they have really strong lanes from Balrogs right now. This is a good sign for them when you're going up against a greater team. And yeah, Witch Doctor plus Gyrocopter in the safe lane can definitely crush a Beastmaster and get first blood. OD mid has the potential to do a lot of damage to either Pugna or the Lina. And with the Bounty Hunter coming in to really help out against the Earth Spirit, it's going to be like who can get the jump better and who's going to do more damage in the mid lane. As well as you can even pair it up the Darkseer with the Bounty Hunter, and you can get easy first bloods in the bottom lane. But as I say that, picking up a Luna here, she is very squishy, but she has a very high movement speed early on, and you might even see Ywar start off with boots against the Darkseer Bounty Hunter lineup, and that's very good when you're trying to chase down the Darkseer early on and get a first blood. So my biggest thing is, Resolution handling the Lina mid. I think it's the best call here, just because it will do way better than Pugna. Pugna just gets bullied out of mid lane. He can't do anything against the OD.
I haven't personally seen a whole lot of Pugna towards the mid lane. When teams do run as a core, they'll try their hand at putting him in the off lane. I even remember Secret doing it for Misery at one point, and I even want to say it was some point during the major, but nonetheless, he's a very, very frail hero. Low strength. He seems to be able to fall over and just crack in an instant. I would be concerned, though, now that it is obvious that it's going to be a Pugna towards the support, like, kind of zoning position here. I don't know what he's going to be able to offer to stop Darkseer from at least getting what he needs. You know, easy ion shells to find the CS, and being able to get close enough to get the XP and always have the surge to get out from trouble. I mean, his options are what? He could decrep him and slow him a little bit, but it's not really going to stop the surge there. A ward may zone him back. It's not easy for Darkseer to be able to bring it down. Do they have other options aside from, I guess, having Owie continue to hang around the lane? But Earth Spirit, typically wants to go to the mid lane and, add some advantage there.
Yeah, I guess you could say they both have 330 movement speed here. Oh, they're going to put a lot of harassment on Darky here before he goes back.
30 seconds to battle.
But that was pretty funny. 1437 starting off with the decrep there.
That's an odd level one. Was he trying to get a Lucent Beam on top of it?
I know, he's like, yo, Ywar, where's my Lucent Beam? But you don't want to skill up the Lucent Beam there. Lunar Blessing is way beneficial to the early. That's 14 bonus damage.
Yeah, it's, there has been recent buffs to Decrepify that kind of seem to go, under the radar to most people because, to be honest, a lot of people don't really give Pugna a lot of attention. I love Pugna a lot, so I was paying attention to it. Like, now you can decrep on your ally and he doesn't lose any move speed whatsoever. By the way, mid lane we're seeing Owie doing his first poking damage here at OD. Lands the Rolling Boulder, and of course he has the Overvenom, so he's going to be smacking him down a bit. Just trying to force him to use some of that early regen and keep him a bit nervous. Because now all Owie has to do is just go into the fog, stay off the radar, and it's going to get Balrogs a bit nervous.
Yep, and here you go. Carrying out a tango will be the first job of AUI since there's a bounty hunter on the side of Balrogs, so you have to be always cautious not to get your courier sniped early game. Bulba here definitely has to play very far back. Jericho hasn't made up where he was showing. There he is. Now they know bounty hunter is top, so they can play really aggressive mid if they want. Oh no, not
Mid lane, though,
we got
good
the
rolling boulder setup onto the OD. There's some right clicks. He's going to be forced to dish out the Astral, and he eats a lot of the damage. Now the salve has to come out, and he's barely off cooldown right now for his shared tango, so OD going to be forced to chew through his first aid kit right away.
That's still good for the OD now because the lane's pushed and resolution. Normally, sometimes ODs don't even go for the Astral. It's really a refreshing sight to see when you're going against this dual lane roam. Resolution they can set up for this. Yep, here we go.
There's an Astral, the roll right in. Jericho steps up, but the sentry's already down. It's going to be Resolution who does go down first. Bounty Hunter picks up the first blood there. Nice work from Balrogs.
And they got the sentry. Really well played. You see that Witch Doctor TPN? Oh man, it's like the flashbacks to, you know, the Astral into an arrow, but now you have the Astral into the TPs. It's pretty cool.
Great movement already being shown from Balrogs here. They're definitely not looking to shy away from this opportunity. Obviously, Digital Chaos coming to this matchup is super ridiculous heavy favorites, and if Balrogs are able to pull out an upset, that might get some headlines, and then attention could come their way, and you know, it would be a huge raise in stock for Balrogs. So I imagine they're going to be taking this series pretty seriously.
Yeah, I mean, Bulba, we haven't even touched on him. He's only level 2, and he hasn't found that much in the off lane here. And let's see, Nightmare, that was a good rotation mid. Doesn't have a TP, so we won't be seeing that play again, but still pulling again, making life miserable for Bulba here, and he's scouting him out constantly. And is Bulba going to get the D-ward? Yeah, he's going to get the, not the D-ward, the deep pull.
Yep, he took it away, so no more pull through going to be happening. Good heads up there for Bulba. It could put his situation from bad to worse, but he holds on and realizes the bounty hunter is going to be kind of up in his face, and the impact the bounty hunter already made in the mid lane might be enough for this OD to be able to kind of take control. But it is Resolution. This guy is world-class mid lane potential here, so it's already a tough challenge for him. He is kind of, you know, at least getting neck and neck in the CS game. 10 apiece here. Bottom lane we haven't really gotten to look in too much of. I was expecting Darky to not be getting into too much trouble, but as I say that, he is eating a lot of harassment. The Decrep with the blast, even the Lucent Beam coming out puts him pretty damn low, and he's going to be forced to salve up. But he's already level 4 at just over 3 minutes in, so he's getting all the XP he could ask for. And look at that mid lane. Aoi makes his appearance once again, and they're going to be following it up with a takedown and get the revenge, Ryu. They take down the Outworld Devourer.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on the bottom lane, how if he had checked their mana from Darky, he would have gotten a solo kill on your war there, because they were both out of mana. So it's just one of those little things that can make, you know, a good player a great player and make these huge plays. But mid lane, they're setting up.
We're going to go for Aoi here. He's getting a little bit of solo time to kind of farm the levels in and maybe start putting some points into the grip, but Rolling Boulder will allow him to make a hasty escape when he feels the pressure coming in, and it looks like Resolution will be able to show up now with a new bottle DD rune to get back into the grind. He is just still level 4, about to get to level 5. OD still continues to etch himself a little bit further ahead.
Yeah, this double damage rune is huge.
If
AUI just comes back into the mid lane again, it could be another death here for Tomato.
Tomato? I don't know. They've all changed their name. I was like, I don't recognize any of these players. I know I haven't watched much of the team, but then when I looked at their legitimate profile, I was like, oh, I know all these people. I know Ben Jazz, I know Darky and all them, but they love to kind of change up their tags, and it does make things a bit more confusing. I know I'm going to be pronouncing it all wrong as a silly little gringo man, but what can you do?
I'm a white man too, man. There's no way we can pronounce anything right.
Aoi, look at him. He is going deep behind this tower. He is going to get the kickoff. The boulder smash is there. The rolling boulder 4, but the help is coming in, and Jericho is already on the scene. Astral might create the space here. Resolution eating a lot of damage under the tower. He steps forward, gets off the LSA, but it's not going to be enough. Odie lives and makes it away from trouble. Resolution going to be forced back and bottles up. Aoi still in a Very tight situation here. Oh, he tries to go for the boulder smash snipe onto OD, but he gladly sidesteps and even takes his life. Cheeky play from DC, and they will be coming up short with their gank attempt again. Balrogs, quick on the rotation. Even Darky at the mid lane right now. What the hell is he doing?
Yeah, that's a good and a bad sign. It shows them that they have really great communication, but at the bad sign is still that opens up free farm for Boba here in the off lane. Desperately needs it. Is going to get him up to the level 5. And also, Resolution missing out on the kill there just because Nightmare had enough healing from the level 2 Voodoo Restoration. Well, it was level 1 back then, but yeah, it was just enough to keep him alive.
Looks like OD has made his appearance towards the bottom lane. He has Sanity's Eclipse ready to go.
Is under attack.
And would love to be able to get his hands a bit dirty here, but no opportunity to show itself. Yawar's playing pretty damn reserved. The creeps are pushed way under the tower, and he'll instead begin to scope through this mid lane. But no one's there. It's actually Resolution who is adventuring towards his top lane. He's not even level 6 yet. And as soon as he shows himself, the Gyro just says, get the hell back, drops the call down to zone them away, and nothing will come out of it, and Resolution will have to just go back to mid lane. That was a bit of an awkward rotation, but it looks like they'll just get back to their laning setup.
Yeah, normally you won't have a ward sometimes in those situations, and he can go for it. Those kind of plays. Resolution didn't have level 6, however, which is kind of the weirdest thing for me, right? Bobo, man fight up here against Jericho. There's still nothing.
There's Owie, a swing and miss with the rolling boulder. He does pop up the dust. Jericho's on the other side. Nice catch with the boulder smash. Axes, and one more swing from the Mighty Earth Bat. And they're going to be able to pick up that one. Same action bottom lane. Yawar able to get a little pick here. Takes down Darky on the Darkseer. Doesn't even need to use the Eclipse to do so. So still has that one in his pocket to work with here. And it's going to be 2 down all day from the side of Balrogs.
Yeah, this combination bottom lane is pretty scary, how much damage you can get off with the bursting of the Decrepify and everything. But at the end of the day, there's no stuns. So it's on Darkseer playing too aggressive or not underestimating how much damage can be bursted out.
Yeah, I had ignored the Pugna a bit. He's the one I've been most curious about what he really is going to be getting done this game. As I said, it doesn't feel like some sort of really hefty push lineup, though they have elements of some serious push with like your Beastmaster being like your typical Zookeeper build-up. Luna has the Glaives to definitely add to that push, but Pugna, it just doesn't seem as all-in as we would normally suspect. And for right now, he has committed to 3 points into the blast. Sometimes you'd see him split between that and getting some extra points into the ward, but for now, it looks like he just wants to get as much bursty magic power as possible.
I saw
that. Top Lena gets a Laguna debut onto the Witch Doctor.
Just like you said, get the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, bottom lane
bottom.
over you. Yeah. Oh my God, he blew the hell up.
Hungry, Nova?
Power of that Decrep plus Lucent Beam just annihilates the Bounty Hunter and just instantly deletes him out of the game.
Yep, and the biggest problem for Balrogs right now is the Bounty Hunter is not getting levels. He has found only 2 ganks, which is pretty nice, all things considered, but at 9 minutes you kind of realistically want to have 4 kill participations, and you want to be like level 5 at this phase. And bottom lane, Jericho once again, and here Finjaz.
They got to make something out of this here. Owie's going to be committing it with the kick. He's eating a full rocket barrage though, and he quickly goes down, but Yawar fires off his own Eclipse in the response to the call down, and the Gyrocopter will fall. 1-for-1 trade, but a much better one for DC as they'll be able to take down the core Gyrocopter here. And now Darky potentially going to be isolated
top
out.
Lane.
But all the way at top lane is where Boba is going to actually get the catch, taking down the Witch Doctor. Back-to-back drops for the Witch Doctor here. And Boba making debut with his Primal Roar.
And mid lane.
Yeah, it's just all across the board here. Mid lane is Jericho will stalk Owie a bit, but obviously not
it's
going to do much
daytime
to
though.
stop him.
Well, here you go. You were talking about the push earlier. They have it now. War is really good at pushing with the Lunar Blessing coming out, as well as the Pugna Blast, but still, not that much structural damage coming out because of the Darkseer, always spamming out the Iron Shells. And he's only level 7 for Darky, so no combo up just yet. Balrogs have been rotating around a lot, but they haven't been able to find good situations to turn around team fights.
Smoked up here, looking to use Benjaz's
Dire's top
new
tower
call
is
down
under
here.
attack.
But already DC are all gone, taking their business elsewhere. They have deep committed wards all throughout their jungle, and just by deduction, you're
Dire's
looking at the
middle
map
tower
from the
is under
perspective of
attack.
DC. You're seeing only one person in the jungle farming who's actually currently getting stocked from Aoi, and everyone else is
Radiant's
just
bottom
flat out
tower
missing. So
is under
it's
attack.
easy to tell that they're up to some
Dire's
sort of
structures
mischievous
are
good
fortified.
and probably smoke somewhere. So DC will
Radiant
just go to where it's safe
structures
and
are fortified.
waste the time from Balrogs. They will try to follow up with at least a tier 1 takedown in the bottom lane, but mid lane
Dire's
is
top
potentially where
tower is
DC could
under
look to make a
attack.
move. They are going to be taking down the tier 1, it would appear. Aoi just getting up the face of this OD, so there can be no easy deny, and they will walk away with the extra bit of economy. It looks like Balrogs will be able to get the tier 1 in the bottom lane, but also
Radiant's
top tier
bottom
1
tower
Ryu going to be
has
going down
Dire's
this
top
time to
tower
DC.
has fallen.
Yeah, they didn't really time out probably the Luna ulti. They could have defended top because the Beastmaster Roar was cooling down at the same time, but there was only 2 heroes there. If they had put all their resources into the top lane, they could have saved it, but mid was pretty much dead just because of the Pugna rotating over and not keeping tabs on when the Luna ulti is. And they all had already TP'd bottom for that smoke gank as well. So, like you said, outmaneuvering DC. That's it's been a very hard game for them. DC just go around the map, keep blowing up Balrogs right now with their Laguna, Beastmaster
Radiant's
Roar,
bottom
as well as the
tower is under
Lucent Beams.
attack.
And it looks like the magical spam is going to continue here from DC. Theben makes a commitment for the Arcanes. I've seen it both ways, where they'll go for Arcanes to be able to spam obviously a lot more blast action and continuously have the ward at the ready, and then some go for Power Trench just to get the extra bit of life. But here they move in, they're going to get the catch, an easy hit and run comes out from DC as they quickly wipe the floor with OD. Look at this, Theben going deep for a ward. Oh yeah, way behind the tower right now. Gets them all that extra back vision, and they can comfortably push this tier 2 without knowing
Radiant's middle tower is under
if there's going
attack.
to be trouble or not.
Dire's top tower
Aoi
is under
committed in
attack.
thinking that there's going to be a bounty there, but that is not the case, my friend.
That was pretty funny. AUI's been cheeky this game. He's going around trying to kill off the bounty hunter, try to kill the OD off in the mid tower.
Dire's
and then
structures are fortified.
what level is the bounty hunter right now? Still
Dire's
5.
top tower is under attack.
AUI just got his level 6, so Magnetize is online. Very scary ultimate.
Dire's top
Yeah,
tower
it's hard because
has
we need to
fallen.
start actually trying to play devil's advocate and see what kind of outs Balrogs are going to have at this point. One of them is being able to get that track and start using it to get some huge boost in net worth right now for their team, but until Jericho is able to kind of get out there and find one of these lanes to just get some solo XP, it's going to be a bit difficult. Maybe if they could put that together with their huge, ridiculous team fight, vacuum call down setup, a Sanity's Eclipse, they should at least be able to get a pick here and there and be able to kind of, you know, reaping the benefits from a minor rubber band because of the ridiculous difference in net worth here. It's 5,000 right now for DC and the track gold. Maybe with both of those, it might be enough.
Yeah, and then when you saw that gank into the jungle, that lets you know there's a
bottom
ward
tower
there.
is under
So
attack.
he dewarded on the high ground here for the side of Balrog's Nightmare, and he just missed it. So they have a lot of good vision coming in from DC right now, showing wherever Balrogs is farming. And we got the
Dire's bottom tower
Her Spirit.
has
You get the
fallen.
lucky Arcane Rune. That's gonna help out a lot, bro.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And as they head bottom, obviously taking rid of a couple more towers, a couple
Radiant's
more
middle
waypoints, options
tower
like
is
Roche
under
begin to
attack.
open up for him a bit, but it looks like Aoi could be eager to use his Magnetize now. Has a smoke, but is looking to hold it for now. Already has Urn complete, so yet to get it. It would be nice to have that Urn before any sort of action breaks out, just to start bringing in the charges, but seems to be the idea that DC would love to be able to make a team fight happen and be able to follow up with a quick tier 2 takedown. They're eyeballing the situation
Radiant's
here. Their
top
only
tower
real
is under
initiation
attack.
at the moment is Aoi, so it is kind of on him to get the party started. Outside of him, they could lack a little bit of lockdown without, you know,
structures are
Bulba being
fortified.
involved. Bulba hasn't really been involved with the
Radiant's
team
top
fight whatsoever,
tower is
but
under
because of that,
attack.
he has quickly a Necro 2 here, Ryu.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing right now for DC. They can get the split pickoffs around the map constantly. They have Yule's Lena, and he can just blow up anyone from the side of Balrogs, as well as Bulba. Necro 2 is definitely enough to kill anyone he wants. So going into the later stages of the game, they're going to have the superior pick off power, and they're definitely going to have the... I'd say the superior teamfight ult. Bottom lane, there you go. Already the
Yeah,
Darkster
sets up
dying.
the easy silence, a decrep even for the Laguna, just makes it that much more unmerciful feeling. DC just get a quick kill on the Darkseer.
Balrogs really have no way to initiate into the Nether Ward without BKBs. That's my biggest concern, is because the Pugna has got so many kills early on. It got him his levels, and now he's got level 2 Pugna Ward, and he's not hurting at all for levels.
No, I mean, still pretty weak, but Theben used to being in that kind of selfless 5 position. Already should know what kind of positioning he'll need to be in these fights, so he's not some sort of easy feed. On the prowl, though, behind him, Jericho. Now level 6 has track. We'll start putting it out there, but now he has dust. Sees him, pops the dust, and moves in with the Magnetize. Good block from Benjaz to stop Owie from being able to get away, but the Magnetize is already down, and the damage is going to begin to trickle through the whole team. They drop the Death Ward here, but a quick spread from DC avoids the damage, and it will be mitigated quite a bit. Now OD returning back from the Astral, quickly falls. Yawar with a big Eclipse, just easily wipes the floor with 2. And now it's going to be Jericho looking to retreat. They don't have the follow-up dust, so it looks like they're not going to be able to get him. But with that, they can easily take themselves into the Roche pit. They have plenty of vision with the Hawk. A sentry now on the high ground. Looks like they'll be able to get an Aegis with no problem whatsoever.
Oh man, that's one of those plays where you just like slap yourself in the face. You're like, well, I'm gonna disrupt him to save him from the Magnetize, and all of a sudden yours, Denny's Eclipse just will pow in your face, OD, get wrecked. But yeah, now they're even gonna steal the Ancients, and that's the whole idea of what Gyrocopter was doing this game. They have to contest this. He went for the early Helmet Dominator so they could catch back up, and if you lose this now, the economy is...
It's bad.
It's almost crippled.
This is really bad. This is their whole offshore account. Just instantly being depleted and taken
baby.
away. Yeah, I know, right? It's just
They play some payday.
all for DC. But
Aww.
we'll see what they can do. Backing away now, we have to see what plan B, maybe even C is going to be for Balrogs here to be able to get a big catch-up. Track opportunities didn't really work out for him. Their saved-up stack has now been taken away. And DC, if they want, could just use this advantage and know that they are the better team fight and continue to use that. Resolution has already picked up an Aether Lens with his Yules and has nearly 2,000 gold already saved up. So this Lina is getting pretty damn swole. Let's look at Yawar here. Obviously, we welcome Yawar to the 1 position again. It's something he used to play a lot. I remember back when him and his brother played together for, Root Gaming. They stepped in and played for a bit, and Yawar was on, like, the core position, typically played a lot of Morphling and Medusa back then, and that was when Sumail was showing his stuff on the Storm Spirit.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good old Storm Spirit. That hero's a dead hero.
Yeah.
He's obliterated.
No resolution.
I don't know.
Sweeps him
Got
with an invis. 1-2 punch. Lagunas down the bounty hunter, and now comes trouble. DC have already taken the tier 2, and they're feeling like, hey, we have advantage in numbers. Let's start going to the high ground, baby. And what are Balrogs going to be doing about it? No track vision going to be here, and it's all on this Darkseer. Big wombo combo better be coming into play soon. He has level 3 vacuum and a level 2 wall to work with. Oh, ow. Witch Doctor, not a big fan of the ward there. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but that thing will continue to tickle you as long as you have that restoration down. And oh no, this is supposed to be Darky's big play, and he just dies right away. No vacuum or wall for you, sir. And he is already going to be going down. Him and Benjaz now going to be out 4 down all day. DC just take the game. Just like that, right before the 20-minute mark, Ryu. Job is done.
I mean, they had a potential counterplay there. If OD had just sat behind the Darkseer, you can Astro him and then save him. But yeah, with the Aether Lens, it's one of the most broken things on Lina, just increasing the Yule's cast range, increasing your Light Striker stun range. It just adds so many killing opportunities there towards the end, and OD not Astroing up the Darkseer, it was pretty much, all on him, like you said, to really make anything happen. It was more so the laning stage kind of collapsed, and then it just went from bad to worse. And this is kind of what we expected, though, from DC. So all things considered, I don't think the bounty hunter was necessarily the pick this game, but you kind of want to have another roamer to counteract the Earth Spirit, right? So you need maybe a Chin or Enchantress to really gank the Lina, but I don't know if both of those heroes were banned out early. In this case, what else could have really helped roam? Maybe the Tusk in this situation, but still.
It's very apparent that they didn't really.
Hard.
They might have not been able to read the situation well based on the draft that was before them, and we'll just have to see if they look to make any adjustments for game 2 to kind of change things up a bit. And I don't know if they're looking to play their own game. Maybe now they need to consider making sure they keep DC in check a bit and not allow them to play their own game, because we all know DC might just be the team that plays the better game overall. But we'll see. Maybe Balrogs going to be able to bounce back. I have faith, as always, in the underdog. We'll see if they can do it. We're cut to a break now. When we return, it's going to be game number 2 of this best of 3, DC versus Balrogs. I'm KotLGuy, that's RyuUboruZ. We'll be back in a moment for game 2.
Look at the sky, the sun won't ask for what if it can rise. Look at your mind and ask yourself what keeps you trapped inside. Look at the